Alright guys, hype news for Wuthering Waves. With some brand new leaks and updates, we now have a first look at the upcoming character kit info. This info is going to be on AUGUSTA, a upcoming 5-star character introduced in the recent Septimont map expansion, planned to release very soon, with her being officially drip marketed after the 2.4 version update livestream. So let's go over her new kit and gameplay details and all we know about this character in this video. And also remember, I'll be giving out my second free Battle Pass giveaway for 100 subs on the channel. All you have to do is be subscribed, like the video, and leave a comment. Max 1 entry per person, and the rules will be in the comment section down below. But alright, let's not waste any time, get right into it. Check out all this new info on AUGUSTA. Now before we get into the kit and gameplay details, let's go over the basics like her element, weapon, and release date. Now according to the early info and the roadmaps, AUGUSTA is going to be an electro element using the broadblade weapon with the role of a main DPS. Her release is also expected to be in the upcoming 2.6 version update alongside another character, the 5-star Yuno, set to be a Gauntlet Arrow sub DPS character. So these two coming out in the same patch, they'll be really hype. Can't wait for this update. You guys let me know, are you guys going to be pulling on these characters or save up for future characters? Now let's go over the kit info. Keep in mind, this is just a small preview of her kit and not the entire thing. So once we do have the entire kit details, as usual, I'm going to do a full pre-release kit breakdown on AUGUSTA once all the info is available. But until then, let's check out this small preview. Alright, now starting off with AUGUSTA's weapon, because the info on her weapon got leaked as well. It has a base attack of 587, and the main stat for her weapon is going to be crit rate. Now this is not a surprise as she is a role of a main DPS, and she's definitely going to be doing a lot of damage, so she wants as much crit rate and crit damage, so her weapon is going to be crit rate main stat. Now for the passive effect on her signature weapon, so the effect here, it increases attack by 12%, and once she uses her resonance skill, her heavy attack damage will gain a 24% damage boost, which also confirms to us that AUGUSTA will scale on heavy attack damage the most, so that is definitely one thing to note when building her echoes. She will most likely want heavy attack damage, and of course the more ranks you obtain on a weapon, the stronger it will get. The damage boost at max rank goes up from 24% all the way up to 48% damage boost. I'd say her weapon being really good and valuable is really important, as a lot of players are drawn to its amazing design. As we saw here from the drip, her weapon does look really sick, so I'd say the design is definitely a main selling point for a lot of players, myself included. So we just went over the weapon info and her basic info. Now let's take a look at the info on her kit and gameplay. Alright, starting off with the Forte skill. What is it all about? So as a main DPS, she wants as much crit and attack as possible, which is when her Forte skill comes into play to give AUGUSTA a bunch of buffs, allowing her to do a lot more damage. She will give herself attack, crit rate, and crit damage stats to herself. We don't know by how much this is, but having crit rate and crit damage buffs into her kit is already a pretty good sign, as it will make it a lot easier to build her and reach the high crit stat requirements. AUGUSTA is described as a heavy attack scaling main DPS, which will excel in most of the endgame modes, providing both high single target damage and AoE damage. From what is also being said about AUGUSTA's gameplay is that AUGUSTA will play similar to Zani, as with her starting state will not offer much, especially her basic attacks, but her skill, however, introducing a brand new mechanic where she will be able to grapple on enemies and bring them closer to each other. This will work as some sort of crowd control mechanic to prevent enemies from splitting up and getting some distance between you, which I gotta admit would be a really helpful mechanic for some cases. Sometimes the enemies do split up a lot, so having this mechanic into the game would be really helpful. A good crowd control to pull the enemies all together. That sounds really nice. Now, similar to many other characters, her damage starts to ramp up after the use of her ultimate, and after she uses her ultimate, apparently she will do a field where enemies take damage over time every few seconds, and if this next info is indeed true, would be really hype as AUGUSTA is said to have both a sword stance and a fist fighting stance. which if I do think about it would kind of make sense to the character. In a way, she kind of reminds me of a reverse of Zani, as Zani is a gauntlet character that uses a grid sword with the ult, and then Augusta is a broadblade character that then uses their ult to go into a melee fist fighting stance. So pretty interesting info. So basically after she does the ultimate, she presses the sword on the ground to do the electric field to do damage over time, and then she resumes into her melee stance state. Overall, Augusta looking pretty good. Speculated as a really strong Electro DPS character, she will definitely be a very nice addition to the Electro Element team. Now, since we just got into the 2.5 version update, this means we can also expect the 2.6 drip marketing to come out very soon as well. I will definitely do a separate video to go more into detail about the 2.6 drip marketing release date and character info. But for now, for the characters that we are expecting to be revealed are going to be the characters that we covered in this video, Iono and Augusta, to come out for the 2.6 version update. Here is a list of all the Settlement region characters that were previously drip marketed. They drip marketed all of these characters before the release of 2.4, basically during the 2.4 version update livestream. At the end, they showed us a preview of all the incoming characters that we can expect for this region. And from what is being speculated right now, we are going all the way until the 2.8 version update, which means every single one of these characters should be released before we move on to 3.0. We have characters like Chissa, that is a much anticipated character due to her design, set to come out right before we move on to the next region, which means she'll likely come out before the new 3.0 update. So around the 2.7 to 2.8 version update is when we can expect the release of Chissa. And we also have other characters like Galbrina and the other guy, I forgot his name, but he was referred to as the Lone Swordsman. So the Lone Swordsman Galbrina was set to come out for the 2.7 version update, although not much has been confirmed on these characters so far. So once we get more info, I'll definitely do a proper roadmap video talking about their element, release dates, and weapons. But until then, let me know down below which character are you most excited for. But for now, let's hope that the drip marketing comes out very soon. You already know once the drip marketing is out, I got you guys covered right here on the channel with 24/7 updates. So if you guys did enjoy, feel free to like and subscribe, put those notifications on, and not only for the 20k subscriber giveaway, but also it will help you guys see my videos right away and be kept updated. Also, speaking of giveaways, don't forget to enter. The rules will be down below in the description and the pinned comment for those who want to check that out. But yeah guys, that is all the latest 2.6 character news in this video. Let me know down below, are you guys hyped for Augusta, Iono, or even all the upcoming characters that are on the way? These next few patches are looking insane, and until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.